Human mind has two faculties, perceiving and thinking. Just, Sarika, try to imagine removing thinking and perceiving from your experience now. What would remain?
Nothing.
No things, but consciousness. Consciousness would remain, but it would be one infinite and undifferentiated, formless whole. So thinking, these are just the two faculties of a human mind. So thinking and perceiving. Perceiving, by perceiving I mean the five sense perceptions, seeing, hearing, touching, tasting, and smelling. Perceiving refracts the one formless reality and makes it appear as many things. Thinking then substantiates the apparent existence of those things by giving each of them a name. A glass, a cup, a table. So this compound of thinking and perceiving weaves this illusion that there are many things and many selves and many people and many objects, and there isn't.
But there's only one reality.
That's just how the one reality appears when it's looked at through the lens of a human mind. So think of this absolute, concrete, rock solid, real reality as, you can't really think of this, but do your best to think of it as a dimensionless presence. It has no dimensions. Think of it as a point. That's as good as we think of it, as a dimensionless point of pure consciousness. Now, imagine that this dimensionless point of pure consciousness were able to assume the form of a VR headset, a virtual reality headset, which was made of thinking and perceiving. So this infinite formless reality assumes the form of a VR headset made of thinking and perceiving and puts it on. Suddenly, its dimensionless presence appears as time and space, populated with events and people and objects, because it's put on the VR headset of thinking and perceiving. As soon as it takes it off, you took off the VR headset. When I said, imagine removing thinking and perceiving from your experience, and said, what remains? You just went silent, and the best you could say was nothing. What you really meant was dimensionless consciousness. How much space was there in the experience that was left? None. How much time was there? None. That's it. That's dimensionless consciousness. I'm not talking about some abstract philosophical realm. I'm talking about what we're experiencing all the time.
Rupert, like in school, you like draw the number line, right? And you think 1, 2, 3, those are real, and the infinite is somewhere far off that I'm never going to see or never going to know. Yes. You're turning it around. You're saying this is infinite.
Yes, infinite.
Numbers are constants.
It doesn't mean innumerable dimensions. It means no dimensions. The eternal doesn't mean everlasting in time. It means ever present now. There are no dimensions in the infinite. The infinite is not endlessly vast. No, it is. We can't imagine. You can imagine a point, yes.
Yes.
Now try to imagine something that is not even a point, that has no dimensions at all.
Yeah,
Why can't you imagine that? Because the only faculty through which you can imagine anything is a human mind.
Right.
So the human mind imposes its own limitations on everything that it knows or perceives. That's why it's not possible to think of eternity. It is not possible because the thinking perceives its own, thinking confers its own single dimension on eternity, making it appear as time. It's not possible to think of eternity. In fact, if we do think of eternity, the mind comes to an end. It's not possible to perceive infinity because our sense perceptions confer their three-dimensional structure onto everything that is perceived through them. So it's not possible to perceive something with no dimensions through a VR headset that's constructed in 3 dimensions.
So what I'm seeing is not the infinite? Is God,
all
right?
All you're seeing is the infinite, and you are the infinite that is seeing it.
So I'm seeing me?
Yes, exactly. You, the one, are just seeing yourself refracted through the lens of thought and perception. All you are seeing is the infinite. There isn't anything else to be seen. But you cannot see the infinite as infinite. You can know the infinite in the sense of experience.
I don't see it as name and form, right? I don't see it as namarupa, but it is the truth.
The infinite doesn't have a name or form. The infinite cannot be perceived through the lens of a human mind. When consciousness puts on the VR headset of thinking and perceiving, it can no longer know itself as it essentially is. Because the VR headset that it has put on now makes itself appear to itself as time and space. So through the lens of a human mind, consciousness cannot know itself as it essentially is. It can only know itself how it appears through the limitations of a human mind. That's what the world is. How the infinite appears when perceived through the limitations of a finite mind. And it's this beautiful thing that William Wordsworth said that when we perceive the world, when we experience the world, we half create it and we half perceive it. I'm going to use your orange-colored glasses as an example for this. When you look at white snow through orange-tinted glasses, thank you.
Julie's.
Okay. So.
All right.
So you're looking at the snow is white. I'm looking at the snow now, and the snow is white. The white snow has got nothing to do with me perceiving. Even if I wasn't looking at the white snow, it's a relative example. Even if I'm not looking at the white snow, it's still white snow.
Sure.
Yeah. But when I look at it through orange-tinted glasses, I'm half creating, half perceiving. What I'm perceiving is the white snow, but I'm creating its orange appearance.
True.
So what appears as orange snow, I half perceive it. I half perceive what I'm perceiving is the reality, what's really there, the white snow. But what I'm creating is the way it appears through the lens that I see. So this amazing insight that William Wordsworth had, that we half perceive, half create the world. What do we perceive? It's reality, the infinite. What do we create? Its appearance. What are the orange glasses through which we perceive? Thinking and perceiving.
Our mind.
Thinking and perceiving is the lens through which we perceive reality. So the conjunction of reality plus the perceiving mechanism creates the appearance of the world. It doesn't create the world. The world is the reality of the world. It exists independent of its being perceived, but the appearance of the world depends upon the perceiving faculties. So what we experience of the world is this beautiful interaction between the infinite and the finite, between the infinite reality and the finite mind that perceives it, and the interaction of these two creates this amazing world.
I know. It's just mind-blowing.
It's mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing.
It's mind-blowing.
It's mind-blowing.
Because
it's so beautiful, isn't it? Just this spontaneous, this moment-by-moment interaction of the infinite and the finite. It's mind-blowing.
My mind can't handle it.
No can mine. No can mine.